What is up, guys? Falcon back again, and today we are working on a 2007 Dodge Ram, which we're going to be replacing the condenser fan. But if you need to replace your condenser, it's basically the same job, so stay tuned. Alright, so here it is. We have an 07 Dodge Ram with a 5.7 liter Hemi engine. But basically, if you have the 5.7, the 4.7, the 3.7, so any engine is going to have basically the same setup, where you have the radiator here, which we replaced on a different video. And now we need to replace the condenser fan, which is this part right here. Now if you need to replace your condenser, it's basically the same job, because you have to remove the condenser and the condenser fan with like one piece. You have to remove the condenser and the condenser fan one piece all together, pull it out. Here it is, a new condenser fan that we're going to replace. And this one, the condenser, is bolted inside the condenser fan. So basically out here, we're going to unbolt it, move it from here to the new one, and then we're going to reinstall it. Alright, so first off, we need to make sure that we don't have any more Freon on the system. Right now I already vacuumed out the system of Freon. Make sure that you follow the law and all this stuff whenever you're gonna take off your Freon. Make sure you have a machine to recycle your Freon, that way you don't have to spend money on new Freon whenever you take it off. But let's say you already got to this point where you have no Freon, whether your condenser is leaking or something is leaking, and that's why you have to move your condenser. So right now, without any Freon, we have 3 bolts that we need to remove. There's one right here, and there's another one right here. These 2 bolts are 10 millimeter, I believe, which are these ones right here. They're very long. And then we have this one 13 or 12 millimeter bolt, which goes down here. After you take that one off, basically everything is completely loose, and all we got left to do is to remove this line here and this line right here. There it is, the AC line. So we got to remove that AC line and that AC line on the bottom. And basically all we have to do now is remove the condenser fan straight out. Now when I say just remove it straight out, it sounds simple enough, but every time I do this job, I have a problem with clearance issues on this side, just because it always hits this fuse box right here. So probably the best thing for me to do is going to be undo this bolt right here, or that nut, to remove that wire. And if I'm going to do that, I need to make sure that I disconnect the battery, because that is a hot positive wire that comes straight from the battery. So now I'm going to disconnect my battery and remove this wire from here, and I'm going to take off these 2 AC lines. That way I can try to wiggle that thing straight up. Also here, let me show you, this is a brand new condenser fan, and this is where the condenser is going to sit. It sits right here, and here you can see the holes right there. There's another one on this side, another one on that side, another one on this side. So this is where it sits, and then the bolts are going to go right here through the side to hold the condenser in place inside the fan assembly. So that way you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Why you need to remove everything, you need to remove it as one assembly, and then once it's out here, you put the old condenser in there, or if you're replacing your condenser, you put the new condenser in the old fan and you stick everything back in there. Alright, so here we are back. Let me show you the issues that I ran into, that way you guys can make sure that you know how to handle them. Number one, this bolt right here. I thought I remember last time I did this job that I was supposed to remove it, because I thought it came with that, but I guess it doesn't. I haven't done this removal procedure in probably like 3 years, but okay. So that one you don't need to remove. After I removed the 2 bolts on the top, I disconnected the battery, and then I removed this one to move it out of the way. I was still having some clearance issues here and right here, so all I did was remove the 2 10 millimeter bolts to go one right here and one right there, basically just to loosen up the radiator and just kind of let it hang just for a little bit. Once I did that, it was just so simple just to pull it straight out. Also, don't forget to disconnect the harness for the actual fan assembly itself, which is this one right here. Don't forget to remove that one. If not, you're gonna have to remove it once you have it out. But that is it, and here it is. This is the brand new condenser fan, and that is the old one. Now I'm going to remove the condenser from here, and I'm going to put it in here. If you have a bad condenser, then basically you're going to put take this one off of here, and you're gonna put the new condenser in there. This condenser fan didn't come with those rubber bushings right there, like you can see there, and then it has two on the bottom. So I'm gonna remove them from here and put them right there, and let me show you where those bolts go that I was telling you about. So here it is, the condenser fan, and we have one bolt right here. We have another one right there. We have another one right here, and another one right there. So just those 4 bolts. Once I take them off, I'm gonna install it over there and put the new 4 bolts in there. All right, so here we are. The condenser is inside the condenser fan assembly. So the only thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this out back. I'm gonna hose it off and then kind of not pressure wash it, because you don't wanna bend these little things here. You can bend them very easily. You can see that. So I'm gonna try to clean it off as much as I can, and then with air, just kind of brush it off before I put it in there. Also, something very important is this seals here. You need to make sure that you replace them whenever you're gonna put the condenser, whether you have a new condenser or you're just doing the fan assembly like me. You need to make sure that you replace those seals, because even if it wasn't leaking before, you want to make sure you have new seals. You're already there. You don't want to have it leak later on. So that's an important thing. Also, whenever you put in this, whenever you do any AC job and you remove Freon from the vehicle, you need to make sure that you vacuum out your system. The reason for that is that every vehicle has a specific amount of Freon that goes inside that AC system. So if you don't vacuum it out, you have oxygen in there. So if you have oxygen in there, you can't put the right amount of Freon that it's supposed to have inside the vehicle, and it's never gonna cool off to where it should be inside the cabin. So even though you might feel that it's cold, let's say it's blowing it at 65 degrees, maybe it's supposed to be at 59, maybe it's supposed to be at 58, maybe it's supposed to be at 50, maybe it's supposed to be at 60, you don't know. But you're never gonna get it to where it should be if it doesn't have the right amount of Freon. And to have the right amount of Freon in there, you gotta vacuum out the system, make sure there is no moisture in there. That's why you vacuum out the whole system. Alright guys, so I really hope this video helps somebody out. Pretty simple job. It should only take you maybe about, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour tops. Alright guys, well don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell for me. I will catch you guys on my next video. Thank you for watching, and you guys have yourselves a great day.